Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to talk again about karma, about sowing and reaping, about cause and effect. As you do unto others will be done unto you. I did a video on this when I first got my feet wet in doing these videos on Yogi Theosophy. These are my feet. Because I wanted to try to be able to speak about stuff that I knew, but I didn't think that I was qualified to speak on these ancient teachings because I could only speak on my experience, and therefore that is the truth. I can only speak on my experience in the application of the Theosophical studies. I am not a teacher. I am a fellow student, just like you. So when we come on and talk about stuff like this, it's not coming from me. These are ancient texts. They go back since the beginning of time. And we talk about, stuff that I try to apply and learn in my daily life. So when I first did the video, I was out on a walk in the woods and I posted it. It's in the feed if you want to take a look at it. But I was talking about, what if everything that you do to someone else, every thought that you think in this particular lifetime, you will experience the effects in another lifetime or in another way, or perhaps even in this lifetime. And I was met with some people like, oh, that's interesting. I was met with a lot of, she must be totally high, man, because it did sound kind of out there. And I guess it would if you hadn't been studying these things. We always hear that. We hear the sages through all the ages tell us about this law. And it's an important way to learn how to live. It is universal balance, universal harmony. Let's take a look from the Key to Theosophy. Actually, I have the book here, but I'm using a teleprompter, so I don't have to put on my glasses. Words are about that big right behind you. From the Key to Theosophy, let's take a look. What is karma? It is the ultimate law of the universe, the source, origin, and fount of all other laws which exist throughout nature. Karma is the unerring law which adjusts effect to the cause on the physical, mental, and spiritual planes of being. And from the Secret Doctrine, also written down by HPB, karma creates nothing, nor does it design. It is man who creates causes. And karmic law adjusts the effects, which adjustment is not an act, but universal harmony, tending ever to resume its original position. Like a bough which bent down forcibly rebounds with corresponding vigor. That's what they say karma is. Okay? When I say they say, I'm talking about the ancient sages. You've heard it all before. For example, do not do to others what angers you if done to you by others. That's Socrates. And this one is very familiar. With what measure you mete it out, it shall be measured to you again. That is Matthew 7:2. Luke 6:31 says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Buddha says, you will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. And also, watch your thoughts. They become your words. Watch your words. They become your actions. Watch your actions. They become your habits. And watch your habits because they become your character. And watch your character because it becomes your destiny. That is attributed to Lao Tzu, and also a man named Frank Outlaw, who is the founder of the buy-low supermarkets in the south of the United States. So what if everything that you do, think, say, and act is going to be experienced by you? It's true. Think about it like that. It's a way to, these guys didn't come in to tell you all this just because it's a good idea. It doesn't mean just be nice when you can. It means what you do will be experienced by you. Would that change the way that you act or think or feel? It's a beautiful law of harmony. It is an absolute law. It's not negotiable. It isn't something that's being meted out by anything else but yourself. Karma is rebirth, which is selected and prepared by this mysterious, inexorable, but in the equity and wisdom of its decrees, infallible law, that the sins of the previous life of the ego are punished. Only it is into no imaginary hell with theatrical flames and ridiculous-tailed horned devils that the ego is cast, but verily onto this earth, the plane and region of sins, where he will have to atone for every bad thought and deed. As he has sown, so shall he reap. Reincarnation will gather around him all those other egos who have suffered, whether directly or indirectly, at the hands or even through the unconscious instrumentality of the past personality. They will be thrown by nemesis in the way of the new man, concealing the old, the eternal ego. It's kind of scary to think about that. What about everything you've ever done, consciously or even unconsciously, to another being? Not just humans, but to any being, anyone, anything that you thought or done will be experienced by you. This is a very important teaching, and you can find it in the theosophical wisdoms, in the ancient truths of not only theosophy, but if you go back into the philosophers like Socrates, we were talking about Socrates, go to Pythagoras. I talk about him. I'll put links down below. Manly P. Hall talks about them in the Secret Teachings of All Ages, the Kabbalah. These teachings are here as they are instruction manuals for life. So I say to you, please open these, apply them, become them. You don't need to go anywhere to get somebody to give it to you. It's already here, and the change will take place, the only place that it can, which is inside yourself. And so to close, from HPB, I'd like to, this is also from the Key to Theosophy. And now I advise you to compare our theosophic views upon karma, the law of retribution, and say whether they are not both more philosophical and just than this cruel and idiotic dogma which makes of God a senseless fiend, the tenant, namely that the elect only will be saved and the rest will be doomed to eternal perdition. So think about it. Let's think about that for a second. I think about it all the time. Everything that I do, everything that I say, I apply this wisdom, and it changes the way that I act and react, because that's the only thing I have control over, my actions and reactions. Thank you for being here today. First day with the teleprompter. Makes things a little bit better, and I don't have to wear my glasses. So on that note, I love you, and I'll see you soon.